Ooh! Hi everyone, Hoothany I Tano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of this new Pale Waves album, Who Am I? This is the sophomore album from UK pop and rock outfit Pale Waves, who burst onto the scene with their 2018 debut My Mind Makes Noises, which was showered with praise by the UK press. All I remember is struggling finding anything worth taking away from the band's commercially punched up takes on new wave, synth pop, and jangle pop, classic sounds from the city of Manchester which they claim, but with almost none of the courage or artistry the bands who put the city on the map had, and all while looking like the second coming of Susie and the Banshees for some reason. Honestly, it's a lot of effort just to sound like the 1975, and I say this knowing Matt Healy's past involvement with the group, okay? Now, it seems on this new LP, Pale Waves' struggle for an identity continues as they fast forward their sound a decade or so to start dabbling in some 90s singer-songwriter jams. Also pop rock cuts that sound like they belong on some 2000s teen flick soundtrack where all the actors are north of 25 but making virginity pacts. A few tracks on this thing I'd even say feature shades of the commercial punk angst that Avril Lavigne's classic stuff had back in the day. A recent cultural resurgence that Pale Waves is actually late to at this point, with recent examples like Princess Nokia or even Ash Nico already making their mark. Now, of course I'm not knocking the fact that the band has some obvious inspirations. Really, it's the lack of creative inspiration overall on this LP that is the issue. Granted, the production on Who Am I is pretty solid. It's clean, it's clear, it's shimmering, it's well balanced, it's tasteful, and as someone who came of age during a time when the sounds the band is dabbling in here were so predominant, the record is pretty faithful to the form. Frontwoman Heather Baron Gracie's bright dramatic lead vocals also make numerous hooks on this thing soar, and they sound fitting, whether the band is doing their thing with acoustic guitar breaks, throbbing synths, or distorted chugging downstroked guitars like on the song Tomorrow, which is really the anthem of the record. I will also admit the band does have a knack for executing a straightforward pop formula, engaging verses, sticky hooks, effective transitions. They also embrace elements of the pop formula that are dying in the modern age, like the bridge, the solo. So without a doubt, Pale Waves nails the fundamentals. They nail them. But the fundamentals are all they really bring to the table on this LP. Like, ask the band to build on those fundamentals or do anything with their influences outside of water them down for an even more commercial appeal, and you are bound to be disappointed. Take the opener, Change, for example, and compare it to a very obvious reference point like Alanis Morissette's You Learn, and you'll hear something's kinda missing. Granted, there are some tracks here where it sounds like there is quite a bit of effort being put in on the lyrical front, like on the Tortured and Lovesick She's My Religion, or You Don't Own Me, which is a cathartic feminist rager with some real don't try me energy. There's also a wonderful message of encouragement to young girls and boys who may feel like their physique or sexuality might not fit into the norm on Tomorrow, but not every track on this LP has an urgent message to deliver. And if I had to pick a single song to really pack this record into a nutshell, it would be Run To, which is a throttling track with driving drums and a straight beam of bassy root notes and jangly guitars. The lyrics are high off this sense of youthful invincibility. My friends are getting high, I'm in love with somebody, things are going good, I'm growing up, I'm not for a small town, fuck small towns. And look, every generation needs music, needs a musician, needs a something that says this. Personally, my mind goes to the debut record of The Pains of Being Pure at Heart back in 2009. So I do appreciate the message and the necessity for that message, but simultaneously the sound of this track is as bland and as safe as can be, not really embracing the raw, twee history, aesthetics, and tradition that the song is obviously pulling from. So coming away from this record, I guess I'm just really wondering how things are going to pan out for Pale Waves because they're a group that seems so infatuated with extending their juvenescence and selling that. They're essentially foregoing the task of developing a sound that's actually going to withstand the test of time. Instead, the band is just putting all of their chips onto trends and styles and genres whose time has already come and gone, which in theory could work if the band would stick to anything long enough to get more than just a passing impression of it, but they don't. So while on Who Am I the basic functions are there, even a dollop of passion, I would say, there's still the matter though of the question posed in the title, and by the time the record is over there's still really no answer to that. Feeling a strong 4 to a light 5 on this one, Transition. Have you given this album a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best, you're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like, please subscribe, and please don't cry. Hit the bell as well. Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, music, Pale Waves, forever.